This is Android Basics, in which we bring you up to date on the things that you should know to use your Android phone.
And now we continue our Android Basics series on the Samsung One UI, and this is the 10th in that series. And today, John is taking us through the display settings.
Hello. Today we're going to be continuing our way through Samsung's One UI settings. And what we're going to be covering today is the display settings. I'm going to be using my S23 Ultra, and I'm running One UI 6.0, which is Samsung's version of Android 14. And I just wanted to point out before I get started that these are very device-specific settings, so you may not have all of these settings in the display settings on your phone, depending on what it supports. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Open display settings.
Here
Display.
it is.
Navigate up button.
Alright, so at the very top, we have whether it's in light mode or dark mode.
Light, not selected, radio button.
Light is on the left,
Dark, selected, radio button.
dark is on the right. I have mine set to dark, and under that
Dark mode settings.
are the settings for dark mode, so I'm going to open this up.
Dark mode settings. Navigate up button. To schedule dark mode to turn on between sunset and sunrise, location needs to be turned on.
And what that's telling us is that if you're the type to keep location turned off, then that might mess up how the automatic dark mode works. I don't have mine on, but here's where you would turn it on.
Turn on is scheduled. To prevent interruptions, dark mode will wait until the screen is off before it turns on. Off switch.
So that basically means while you're using your phone, it won't switch it from light mode to dark mode or vice versa. It'll wait till your screen's off. But I'm going to turn this on.
Dark mode settings. Navigate up button. Dark mode will be automatically turned on at scheduled start time.
And now this is turned on. Here are the options we have.
Selected, radio button, sunset to sunrise. Not selected, radio button, custom schedule.
So you can have it be light mode during the day and dark mode at night, or you can customize it to whatever you want. So I'm going to back out of these settings.
Display, dark mode settings.
Next we have,
Brightness,
this is self-explanatory. There's going to be a slider.
100%, brightness, slider.
Of course, I have mine set to 100% pretty much all the time because I do have a little bit of vision. Obviously, if you're completely blind, you're probably going to want to turn this all the way down. Next we have,
Adaptive brightness, off, switch.
this is whether or not you want it to automatically adjust your brightness depending on your surroundings and how light it is in the room you're currently in, or whether you're outside or inside.
Extra brightness, increase the maximum brightness. This uses more battery. On, switch.
So I have this turned on, and it does make the screen brighter. What I'm guessing this is, I'm not 100% sure, but I think maybe it might just let your screen run at full brightness even when it's not in sunlight, because these phones typically do get brighter when they are in the sun. So that's my guess what that does. Next we have,
Motion smoothness, standard.
this is the refresh rate. I'm going to open it up.
Motion smoothness. Navigate up button.
Here are the two options we have.
Not selected, radio button, adaptive, get smoother animations and scrolling by automatically adjusting your screen refresh rate up to 120 Hz. Selected, radio button, standard, get longer battery life by automatically adjusting your screen refresh rate up to 60 Hz.
So basically 60 Hz or 20 Hz. I always turn mine down to 60 because I can't tell a difference, and that saves battery. Some people will tell you that having a higher refresh rate makes your phone more responsive, but that's not the case. the refresh rate is a 100% visual thing. It doesn't affect the touch sampling rate of your screen. So if anything, your phone will be more responsive when it's set to 60 Hz because it's actually only doing half as much. I'm going to back out of here.
Display. Motion smoothness, standard.
Next we have,
Eye comfort shield.
now this is a blue light filter.
Eye comfort shield. Navigate up, button. Keep your eyes comfortable by limiting blue light and using warmer colors. Using at night can make it easier to fall asleep.
So that's the definition of it. I have this turned off. I don't think it affects me at all personally.
Display. Eye comfort shield.
Next we have
Off, eye comfort shield, switch. Screen mode, vivid.
screen mode. I'm going to open this.
Screen mode. Navigate up, button.
You have two options,
Checked, vivid. Natural.
vivid or natural, and this is, I guess, how punchy the colors are on your display. After this, you have
White balance.
the option to adjust white balance.
50%, white balance, slider. Advanced settings, button.
And then, I won't go in here, but the advanced settings, if you want to adjust the RGB levels independent from each other, you can go in here and do that. So I'm going to back out of here.
Display. Screen mode, vivid.
Next we have
Font size and style.
font size and style.
Font size and style. Navigate up, button. Font style, default.
You can choose the font here.
Bold font, off, switch.
You can choose whether it's bold or not,
Font size.
and then you can adjust the size.
Decrease font size, button.
There's a decrease button, a slider,
29%, font size, slider.
and an increase button.
Increase font size, button.
So you can use the buttons or adjust the slider. I'm going to back out.
Display. Font size and style.
Next we have
Screen zoom.
screen zoom. And this is actually important.
Screen zoom. Navigate up, button.
What it lets you adjust is
Use the slider below to make items on your screen smaller or larger. To change the size of text, go to Font size and style.
so this does not change the size of text, but it changes the overall size of items. So, for example, you can increase this and less will fit on your screen, so you'll have to do more scrolling, but the items will be larger and easier to find when exploring by touch. So if you like to explore by touch and you have a hard time finding small buttons on the screen, then definitely you're going to want to increase this. And, find what that balance is for you of what size you need items to be to make things work best for you. I keep mine pretty low because I don't like to have to scroll any more than I have to. I'm going to back out of here.
Display. Screen zoom.
Next we have
Screen resolution, HD plus 1544x 720.
resolution.
Screen resolution. Navigate up, button.
So I have mine set to
HD plus 1544x 720, selected, radio button.
the lowest resolution possible because I can't tell a difference and it's better for battery. I have two other options here.
FHD plus 2316x 1080, not selected, radio button. QHD plus 3088x 1440, not selected, radio button.
So again, this is the amount of pixels that your screen displays and has to refresh. So if this does not affect, if you don't have enough vision to tell a difference between this, I recommend just turning it all the way down. Save yourself some battery. I'm going to back out.
Display. Screen resolution, HD plus 1544x 720.
And next we have,
Full screen apps.
now I won't go in here, but this is going to be a list of all the apps you have installed that want to use the full screen mode, which I think means it's going to hide your navigation buttons if you have navigation buttons. So you can go in here and toggle the switch for each app, whether you want to allow that to happen or not. Next we have
Camera cutout.
camera cutout. This is a similar thing. You can adjust this for each app. And what this will do is, if you don't want to see the punch hole in your screen, you can just have it set to basically put a black bar at the top of your phone so that you can't see that hole punch. It basically just adds a bezel to the top of your phone. And you can adjust it app by app.
Screen timeout, 5 minutes.
That's self-explanatory. It's how long your screen will stay on if you leave it on, assuming you're not playing some sort of video.
Easy mode.
Easy mode. I've not used this, but let's see what the description is.
Easy mode. Navigate up, button. Easy mode sets the screen zoom to large and the font size to medium so your home screen items and text will appear larger. It also changes to a longer touch and hold delay to prevent accidental actions and switches to a high contrast keyboard for better readability.
So basically sounds like this is old person mode. Back out.
Display. Easy mode.
Let's see what's next.
Edge panels.
Edge panels. Okay, there's actually a lot in here. I'm going to open it up. I don't use them, but we'll look at
Edge
it.
panels. Navigate up, button.
I'll turn them on.
Edge panels, off, switch. On.
Okay, so now that it's on, let's see what we have here.
Panels, apps.
Panels. Apparently there's only one panel set up, the apps panel. I'm going to open this.
Panels. Navigate up, button. Checked, apps, checkbox.
So I have apps enabled.
Apps edit, button.
And you can edit that. I'm assuming what apps are on that panel.
Not checked, live messages, checkbox.
That's another possible panel.
Not checked, people, checkbox. Not checked, smart select, checkbox. Not checked, tasks, checkbox. Not checked, weather, checkbox. Not checked, tools, checkbox. Not checked, music, checkbox. Not checked, reminder, checkbox. Not checked, clipboard, checkbox. Not checked, voice changer, checkbox.
So as you can see, those were all the different panels that you can have enabled on here. There's actually a lot you could do with it, but I just don't use it. I'm going to back out.
Edge panels. Panels, apps.
And under panels, we have
Handle.
where we can adjust the handle settings.
Handle. Navigate up, button. Lock handle position, off, switch.
Whether or not you want it locked.
Style, heading. Not selected red.
This is basically
Not selected orange.
what color you want it to be.
Transparency, heading.
Next, we have the transparency slider.
70%, transparency, slider. Size, heading.
Then you can adjust the size.
43%, size, slider. Width, heading. 0%, width, slider. Vibration, heading.
And then whether or not you want it to vibrate.
Vibrate when handle is touched, on, switch.
And that's all the settings for the handle. I'm going to back out.
Edge panels, handle.
Okay, I'm going to turn this back off.
Edge panels, on, switch.
And then back out here.
Off. Display. Edge panels.
Next we have
Off. Edge panels, switch. Navigation bar. Manage the home, back, and recents buttons are use gestures for more screen space.
Let's go in here.
Navigation bar. Navigate up, button.
So I have mine set to use gestures.
Not selected. Radio button, buttons.
So as you can see, buttons is not selected.
Selected. Radio button. Swipe gestures. Swipe up with 2 fingers from each area of the bottom of your phone to go back, go to the home screen, or view recent apps. You can also swipe up and hold with 2 fingers to use your device assistance app.
Now, if that sounds weird, it's because that's not the default.
More options, button.
I'll go into more options to show you the difference.
Swipe gestures. Navigate up, button.
Now, these are the 2 types of gestures you can have on your Samsung phone. This is the default.
Not selected. Radio button. Swipe from sides and bottom. Swipe up with 2 fingers from the bottom of the screen to go to the home screen. If you swipe up and hold with 2 fingers, you can view your recent apps. To go back, swipe inward with 2 fingers from either side of the screen. To open your device assistance app, swipe inward with 2 fingers from one of the bottom corners. Swipe up from the bottom of the screen with 2 fingers to go to the home screen.
And then there's an alternative method, which is what I have enabled, which is this.
Selected. Radio button. Swipe from bottom. Swipe up with 2 fingers from each area of the bottom of your phone to go back, go to the home screen, or view recent apps. You can also swipe up and hold with 2 fingers to use your device assistance app.
So basically, you would just swipe up from the bottom of the screen wherever the button you want to press would be. So swipe up from the center for home, swipe up from the left for back, if that's how you have the back button set, and swipe up from the right side of the bottom of the screen to do recents. The reason I do this is because of the swipe up and hold from the center for the assistant, because that's much easier for me to do with 2 fingers than trying to swipe up from the corner. And then after these settings, we have
33%, gesture sensitivity, slider.
the gesture sensitivity, which you can adjust. So I'm going to back out of this section.
Navigation bar. More options, button.
After more options, we have
Gesture hints, show where to swipe up for navigation gestures. You can also swipe left or right across the hints to switch between apps. Off, switch.
So I have this turned off because I can't see it anyway.
Switch apps when hints hidden. On, switch.
This allows you to still swipe between apps even when that's not showing. So if you don't know, if you put 2 fingers at the very bottom of your phone where the buttons would be, and you swipe them to the right, that will go to the last app you were in. And then if you swipe them back to the left, that will put you in the app you just were in. So it's just a quicker way to switch apps rather than bringing up the recent screen. Next we have
Show button to hide keyboard. The button is only available in portrait mode. On, switch. Block gestures with S Pen. Prevent the S Pen from being used for navigation gestures. This helps when drawing or writing near the edges of the screen. Off, switch. Button order, header, heading.
and then you can adjust the button order.
Not selected. Radio button, recents, home, back.
This is how Samsung has had it by default in the past. I don't know why, but they let you change it.
Selected. Radio button, back, home, recents.
And that's how I have mine set. So I'm going to back out of these settings.
Display. Navigation bar, manage the home, back, and recents buttons are use gestures for more screen space.
After this, we have
Accidental touch protection. Protect your phone from accidental touches when it's in a dark place, such as a pocket or bag. Off, switch.
That's pretty self-explanatory. I've actually turned this off just because sometimes when my phone is in my pocket, TalkBack starts talking about how it's protecting me with accidental touch protection. And I don't want to hear that. If my phone's in my pocket, I want it to be quiet. So that's why I have this turned off.
Touch sensitivity. Increase the touch sensitivity of the screen for use with screen protectors. On, switch.
That's self-explanatory as well. I don't know why I have this on. I don't use a screen protector. I'm going to turn it off.
Off.
Next.
Show charging information. Show battery level and estimated time until full when always on display is off or not shown. Off, switch.
So, whether you want your phone to show its percentage while it's plugged in.
Screensaver.
And then last we have screensaver. I'm going to go see what the options are.
Screensaver. Navigate up, button. Selected. Radio button, none.
I have none selected.
Not selected. Radio button. Colors. Not selected. Radio button. Photo table. Settings. Button for photo table. Disabled. Not selected. Radio button. Photo frame. Settings. Button for photo frame. Disabled. Not selected. Radio button. Photos.
So these are the options they let you have for screensavers. So basically, it's like when your phone is charging and you're not using it, do you want something to be on the screen or not? So that's why I have this set to none. And that was the last setting in the display settings. So I'm going to kick this back to the crew for further discussion. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much, John. We appreciate that. And let's talk a little bit about this area, guys. I think probably one of my favorite things in this part of the display is that one has a lot of choices in here. You know, if you're a Samsung guy, you got the easy mode, which is, I don't suggest that for those of us who are blind, but you have things like the eye shield comfort. You have all kinds of stuff in here. So this is where you can even go to do things like whether you like the native gestures and things like that. I really like what Samsung has in here. They have a lot of things here in the display. What are some of the things that you guys like on here that you would like to comment on the things that John showed us?
Well, I don't use it very often, but when I first get my phone, I always use it to make it longer before the screen locks. Because I think
that
when
can
you
be
first
very annoying, isn't it? Like
when you
seconds.
first get your phone, it's like 30 seconds. What? I was only putting this down to have a drink or something. What? Just stop it. So that's usually what I go in there for, and that's about it, actually. Although I did learn something when John was going through that. The thing about it showing you how much longer it would take to charge the battery and the battery information. And I thought, I wonder if I've got that switched on. I don't think I have. Maybe I'll switch it on. So thanks for that, John. That's very useful.
Yeah, I tell you, I used to hate when I started first on Android. And, I'm trying to type in something, or I just put it down, like you said, trying to do something for like a few seconds, and the screen has shut off. And so I finally wised up. I put mine at 5 minutes, even though I'm advanced in using Android, but I still have it like 5 minutes. Earlier on, when I started, I had it on 10 minutes.
I don't know. Can you do 10 minutes? Can you do 10 minutes?
Can have 10 minutes. Yeah. I think there's even a 30 minutes. I don't remember. Maybe 10 is the max. Don't remember.
I think 10 is the max, because I had mine on the max, and 10 is the max, at least on my phone.
Exactly.
But I have it on 5 minutes normally.
Same here. So I have a question for all of you. I guess just about all of us are Samsung users here. Who uses, if anybody, edge panels? I always turn those off, but you can really do a lot with them. So I'm wondering if anybody actually uses them.
I don't use the edge panels. I'm turning them off.
They can be very useful, though, if you learn to use them. I played with them just for giggles, and I like the fact that I could add things that I want there, but then I turn it off. But I can see its usefulness. And talking about edge panels, John, another thing that I like is, you want to turn on that edge protection thing there in the event that, maybe if you put it in your pocket or put it in your purse, and then, it comes on, for example, you want to turn that on so it prevents accidental turning on of your device.
I turn it off. Yeah. I'd rather something accidentally happen than it just talk while it's in my pocket, because it's not going to unlock. It won't think my leg is my fingerprint. So whatever you want while you're in my pocket, just shut up. I don't want you to be announcing yourself I'm doing something important.
And I have the accidental touch turned on, but honestly, it is absolutely annoying, especially when you have a phone now with 2 screens. Because if it's in your pocket, you have your have it set up where you can double tap your screen to turn on, your leg can actually be turning on your screen. I've had this happen so many times. And it's like it's both a blessing and a curse to have the accidental touch, because then you're not doing something that you don't want to be doing. But then if you aren't conscious of what direction you're putting your phone in your pocket, you're turning your screen on all the time accidentally. So it's I love it, but I hate it.
Yeah, so mine is I don't have mine going on.
I don't have the screen or that accidental touch protection on, but I do use the edge panels. I have mine set up where if I open the edge panels, it opens that compass one.
Yeah, there you go. You got some usefulness out of it.
Yeah. And I just turned off the apps one. The compass one is the only one that I got. Because switching between them is a bit tricky.